Knowing when to roam is one thing. We've shown over and over again that a lot of low elo players just don't know when to leave lane, and they'll make terrible choices like buying mobility boots just to run back bottom. Because of this, it's fair to say that a lot of our regular viewers probably know by now that roaming is extremely powerful, so they do it. But what now? Lots of low elo supports do roam, it's just that even when they find good timers to do it, it's still going to look a lot different from when challenger players do. So what's the difference? What separates challenger players from lower elo players after we already know to leave the lane occasionally? Let's take a look. This is the difference between good and bad supports, roaming edition. Let's follow along with a gold Karma as she's coming up onto a good roam timer. Karma and her ADC are pushing in their wave to the enemy's tower, and once it crashes, she channels her recall and heads out of base. This support has correctly identified a roam timer, so let's see what she does with it. She heads down towards mid and bullies Lulu out of her jungle. And just a few moments later, sees Ahri hitting mid tower and decides to punish that too. Because of Karma's roam, this play works out pretty well. We scored 2 kills basically for free, and now we can safely say that the roam was good, right? Well, not exactly. League is so hard to learn because you cannot afford to be results based. If we go back to analyze this play, we'll see some glaring issues, even though it worked out. Before any roam, you should always ask one very important question. What is my main goal here, and what am I working towards? If I were Karma right now, I should notice a few things. My Lee Sin and Aurelia are on Rift Herald. My mid laner is recalling, and my ADC is coming back from base. We have a huge imbalance in terms of strength on each side of the map, as I just don't have teammates on the lower half. Because of this, if I am going to roam, I will be heavily incentivized to do something in top side and just not contest bot side at all. We have no clue where Ahri is, so if we fight right now, it's possible that she could just be right behind Lulu and we die, ruining the play that our team is trying to make. Additionally, Dragon was taken about 2 minutes ago by the enemy team, and Karma participated in that fight. So she is definitely aware of it happening and knows Dragon won't be up for another 3 minutes, so it's not really a consideration either. Low elo roams just tend to have one common thread. They lack direction. Karma is most likely just running to this because she wants to protect her ward. She's not thinking of a main goal. These goals could be ideas like setting up vision for an objective such as Dragon, Baron, or Rift, ganking a lane, helping your jungler invade, hovering to counter a potential gank, and way more. So if we ask ourselves what Karma is actually working towards here, I have a hard time actually figuring it out. There's literally no one on the enemy team in lane to gank, our jungler is on the other side of the map, none of our lanes are in lane, and Dragon isn't up. Why do we care about bot side vision right now? The real answer is that we don't, and that Karma is roaming because she thinks roaming is just a good thing to do, but it doesn't serve a purpose when you do it like this. Before we move on to a high elo example, I just want to preemptively debunk the argument that Karma was doing this roam to intentionally gank mid. At this point, Ahri is in lane to gank, but no one is nearby to follow up. If we were planning on ganking, it needs to be on this timer before Ahri clears the wave. Ahri literally sees Karma in bot river and sees the Rift Herald get taken from the global announcement. At this point, what is any competent player going to do here? Just back up. The fact that we get 2 kills here is not because the roam or the gank from Lee was good. It was just Ahri making an entirely egregious mistake. If this is what it takes for the roam to work out, then it definitely isn't that good. And in 99% of games, Karma completely wastes her time here or even dies for free. Now look, it is good to punish mistakes when you see them, but I care a lot about intent behind actions, and if we look at Challenger, you're going to see a whole different story. Just like the low elo replay, let's follow along with another Karma. She's about to secure a great roam timer through a successful dive. Yes, your dives in your games are not going to look like this, but how we get the timer doesn't really matter. It's just that it exists and then how we use it. As she walks out of base, let's ask the same question as before. If we were to roam here, what is our main goal? In contrast, a few things stand out this time when compared to the low elo replay. Yasuo is trying to break a freeze mid lane and has to overextend to do so. Counter ganking this if he gets ganked is definitely a reason to go mid. We also know that Jarvan cleared down on his first clear, which means at this timer, his topside camps aren't quite up yet. However, he's going towards topside still. If Karma's paying attention to what camps are up, this means Jarvan can really only look for a few things. Until Gromp, he's going to just look for a gank mid or top. An invade of some sort would be possible, but he also knows that Echo cleared up and doesn't have camps up topside to counter jungle. So one incredibly important concept for support is to just connect plays with your teammates. If we know Jarvan is trying to make a gank work here, we can try to do that too and make the likelihood go up, so we both have better odds of not wasting our time. Almost right as expected, Yasuo does get ganked trying to break the freeze, but both Jarvan and Karma are ready to react because, well, this is Challenger and they're good players. She doesn't get a kill here, but the intent is what matters. She knew this could happen and was ready to react. At the very least, she helps him break the freeze by adding pressure mid. Let's just go back and look at the low elo example again for another second, just to show the contrast. Karma's coming out of base with yet another good timer to move. If we look at the map right now, we would see this. All 5 members of the enemy team are showing. Aurelia is posturing to dive Ahri, and Lee and Sylas are looking to potentially help her or take someone out in rotation. Dragon isn't up, Baron and Rift aren't up, and Aphelios is under no threat of dying. The only thing that makes sense to do right now is go topside and try to support a play that 3 of your teammates are trying to make. As some of you might have guessed, I was Lee Sin in this game. Listen to what I say here. We need to get a pick on somebody. It's pretty hard for us to just do this. I definitely didn't think we should take this fight without Karma. I was more just trying to look for someone out of position, but look at how close this bad fight is right now in a 2v4. Imagine if we just transplant Karma from the bottom side of the map to the top side, and think about how differently this fight could look. She didn't even take a straight path from base, so if she did go right down mid instead of doing all this zigzagging, she is here in this fight. And no, I don't really care that Karma made a few suboptimal roams. We did win this game and she played fine overall. It's just that I thought it would be a great teaching moment, and it illustrates pretty well that supports just tend to not go to the right places on the map. If we jump back to Challenger, we're going to see how huge the difference is. Right after that mid roam, Karma is going back to lane, and we get one very valuable piece of info here. Nami shows on map. Roaming doesn't just mean not being in bot. At this point, both Karma and Nami are essentially laning mid temporarily. And now we actually get a roam timer because Nami is in lane and we aren't. It's weird, I know. Using this info, Karma actually roams to gank her own lane. This is just super cool to watch, and you see her basically fulfill the role of jungler. The few seconds she knew she had above Nami make all the difference, and sometimes the advantages that people can snowball off of at Challenger are this tiny. But Karma knew exactly what plays she could make and was incredibly decisive in going for it. After pushing the wave in, she has yet another roam timer, and look at how she connects with her mid laner's move to punish it. She's just constantly stringing together play to play with her teammates. After recalling and freezing on her opponents for a bit, she's back to doing the same thing. When Jarvan and Yasuo get a timer to go make something happen, you can bet what she's going to do. Instead of explaining how big the advantage they get here because of this roam or the goals that she's working towards, I think I should just answer the concern that everyone probably is thinking right now. But dude, my team isn't going to do this. I don't have plays to follow up on. And that's where I just say that you're wrong. In fact, teams in low elo try to go for plays too much. You'll always have plays to try and connect with. Sylas and Aurelia were the 2 people going for plays in the low elo example, not me. I was just following up on their ideas. When I'm jungling or playing support, I'm mostly not looking to force my own plays. I'm looking at what my teammates are already doing and trying to make a play that just works with it. At Challenger level, sure, you can get people on the same page, but in low elo, it's really hard to get teammates to change their ideas. It's much better to just see what's going on and be in the right place at the right time. If you're along for the ride, you just win most games. Just make sure you didn't forget the ticket to board. Because you're always adding +1 to every idea, they just work out more often. And however uncoordinated you think your team is, you're always going to be a bit more coordinated than the enemy if you play like this.
So you might be asking yourself, why go to skillcap.com to improve when I could just watch YouTube guides or play the game? Well, let me show you. Let's say you're a support who's struggling to climb the ladder. Not only would you get over 40 site exclusive courses for support, but maybe really what you've been struggling with is trading as support. Well, we got you covered with 6 different courses breaking down how to trade as a support player. Not only do we have the largest catalog of guides for League of Legends in the entire world with over 1,500 videos to watch, but these are then curated by the top coaches and players into courses on every skill and topic you need to master in order to truly improve and climb the ladder. If all of this wasn't enough, we haven't even touched on our catalog of over 700 Smurf commentaries, where a challenger expert shows you how to climb out of your rank, and you're guaranteed to get any questions answered by them directly. Not to mention, we're the only service to offer a rank improvement guarantee. If you don't climb at least 5 divisions while actively using Skill-Capped, you can claim a refund, no questions asked. So what are you waiting for? Head to Skill-Capped.com and get the rank you've always wanted. Link in the description below.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.